Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello. And welcome to Conversations with Malik. As you see, we've been broadcasting shows. I want you to please follow us on convoswithmalik.com, convoswithmalik.com. Join our Facebook page at Conversations with Malik. You can catch us on YouTube. On our YouTube channel, you can catch us also on Apple iTunes. I just wanted to say that I really appreciate all the support that we've been getting from people. The website went live on Friday, and I'm really blessed and fortunate to be in this position to have this platform to actually affect other people. Go on our website, convoswithmalik.com, convoswithmalik.com, and please, we need your downloads in Apple iTunes. Tell your friends about it. Tell people we got great interviews coming up this week. I got Miss T coming on, who wrote Harlem Heroine. She's coming on this week, and we're going to have a wonderful interview with her. We got a lot of great people lined up. And so I said that I would do Spiritual Sundays. And listen, the media team doesn't want me necessarily doing Facebook Live. So I'm going to be able to do clips on Facebook Live. And people have been hitting me up. I appreciate you guys who have been inboxing me and emailing me about the show and about me coming on. And you're like, yo, Malik, where you been? We haven't seen you on Facebook. That's because I need you to go to my website. I need you to listen to me in Apple iTunes, because that's how we'll build the movement and build the numbers. So listen, thank you for allowing me to serve. But I want to touch on today. So I'm going to be doing Spiritual Sundays. And if you go on my podcast and you go on my website, there will be uploads every Sunday for Spiritual Sundays. And so listen, by the grace of God, I was raised in the church. And I love church. I'm the son of pastors on both sides of the lineage of my family. I love spirituality. I'm a spiritual seeker. I'm a reader. I believe that leaders are readers and readers are leaders. So I'm always seeking to grow in effectiveness and understanding. So let this show, what's up, Trev? Let this show be an addition to what you already do spiritually. See, one thing that I've learned is I learned that you can be for something and not necessarily against something else. So I'm not against anything that anybody does to have a rich and fruitful life. But what I am called to do, and this is my pastoral outlet. My outlet, what's up, Brother Butch? My cuz, what's up? My outlet is this show in this wonderful studio. If you're looking on the website, you can see us in the studio. We invested a lot of money in this place because we want this to be a place that reaches people. And so my topic today is only in the darkness can you see the stars. And so, Malik, what do you mean by that, Malik? What do you mean by only in the darkness can you see the stars? Well, let me ask you something. Can you see the stars during the daytime? Has anybody saw the stars in the day? No. Right? So it's in those moments where I'm feeling in despair that I really find out the most about myself. And I find that people who I'm blessed to spiritually mentor, people who are inboxing me and they call me and they email me and we're talking about life situations, I find that everybody wants to run from pain instead of embracing the pain. And so when I say embrace the pain, do I mean that to go out and actually go seeking for pain? No, I'm not talking about seeking for pain. But I'm talking about when pain comes, not running. See, drug addicts run from pain. People who gamble, people who overeat, people try to drink away the pain. They try to divorce away the pain. They try to stop calling somebody because they want to blame other people for why they feel the way they feel. There's a lot of that going on. So you hear it in the talk. I don't speak to this person anymore because I don't like how this person makes me feel. Nobody's responsible for my internal balance. It's all really a mental illusion, and it's a setup to continue to run and to keep running. Well, let me ask you, when do I stop running? When do I stop running and really, really embrace personal accountability? Personal accountability is the gift of being to look inward. And we talk about on the website, and in the introduction on the website, it talks about we look inward to then go outward. But what's happening is there's so many things, so many life experiences that I have that really sometimes block me from me getting in touch with Malik on a really deep and rooted level. There's too many distractions. I spoke about before how all of the distractions out there, and the distractions are really, the distractions are the setups to my outer limitations. Check it, follow me. Because real limitations are just outward illusions. Remember that. Real limitations are outward illusions. And what do I mean by outward illusions? Those outward illusions are false realities that I set up in my mind based on past experiences. And I judge people, situations, and I judge things based on past situations with past people, with past jobs, with past relationships, past business opportunities. And it sets up current and future failure. Check me out, follow me. See, because overcoming obstacles is really a series of fearful steps that is based in a faint belief. So I can, and when I say a faint belief, I mean, because a lot of times I step out on fear, I don't necessarily believe. But I step out on fear because what I'm stepping to has to be better than where I am, because where I am, I don't like where I am. And I want to be careful that I don't get too comfortable in this prison that I made up in my mind. We talk about the prison system in the United States. Well, there's a prison system, all right. There's a mental, physical, spiritual, and emotion prison system. And guess who's the warden? Me? Yeah, I'm the warden. And what happens is I never let me out of that prison. So let's take some steps and let's work on it. And how do I get overcoming fear? Right? How do I get over being in those dark times? It's very important that I learn the lessons when I go through struggles. Because actually, the struggles is a part of a schoolmanship. It's part of, it's actually there for me to learn how to become better within myself. When I'm blaming other people for how I feel, I'm missing the lesson. And look, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying people aren't wrong from time to time. Yo, Malik, Malik, what are you talking about? I can't be responsible for everything. That is partly true. People do things to me. Things do happen in life. People die. There's accidents. There's tragedies. There's diseases. People just decide that they might not want me in their life no more. A girlfriend or a wife or somebody might decide to break up. A job might close. And so I start to feel like, oh, wow. I start to feel the darkness. Why? Because I allowed my identity to start to be rooted and based in outward experiences. The outward things that I attain start to become my identity. So I get a new car, part of my identity is the car. I get into a new relationship or I'm married to somebody, so a lot of my identity gets wrapped in that. We have kids, my identity gets wrapped in the kids, right? My identity starts to get wrapped into this new job or wrapped into this other new opportunity. And what subtly begins to happen, and life has a funny, subtle way, is that nothing is permanent. Nothing outward is permanent or inward. Because, you know, that saying, this too shall pass. So things pass, things change. Life is always evolving. Follow me. We're going to get deep because we get deep on this show. Because you know what? We have to start talking about this and looking at things on a deep, emotional, spiritual, and mental level. Follow me. So as things begin, what subtly happens is things might go a certain way for a year or 2 years and things are going smooth. And then all of a sudden, something's changed and something shifts because we're creatures of habit. I can also get addicted to the habit of things being good. It sets me up into a cycle. So then when things change, I fall under the illusion that things are bad. I get into a car accident, somebody hits me. Now I can't go back to work. Now I'm on disability. I'm not getting as much money as I was getting in disability. So now I can't afford that car. It's time to renew the lease. I can't get this car anymore. See what begins to happen? And somebody asks me how I'm doing. And you know what I say? I start talking about the exterior things that happen to me. And what's going on in my life and how I'm doing is two different things. Remember that. How I'm doing and what's going on in my life externally is two different things. So I start to feel like things are dark. I talked about it because of the mental illusions. The mental illusions is that I began to seek happiness and contentment. And I'm not saying that outward things aren't good. I'm not saying that. If you live spiritually right and you walk on the right path, yes, things outside of me will get better because I'm going to set up my environment to have a fruitful and wonderful life. Yes. But let me let me also understand that if I have these things, it's by the grace of God. They're on loan. I get loaned opportunities. There's going to be a day where there's no more conversations with Malik. Like, look, I really feel passionate about what it is that I'm doing. I feel passionate about this movement. But guess what? God might say, I don't need you to do this anymore. I got something else for you. Will I be willing to let it go? I invested money into this studio. I could take you around this studio. This studio is beautiful. We invested a lot of money in this studio. Why? Because we want to have a quality product. But guess what? This isn't permanent. And if I allow my identity to be wrapped up into this studio, I got it wrong. Because guess what? I was helping people before this studio was built. I'll be helping people after this studio is no longer here. As long as there's breath in my lungs, I'll be helping people. So I don't necessarily just need this. So I'm gonna give you a few things, and I want you to remember this. The root to all internal struggle is my outward dependence upon people and things. Remember that. The root to all of my internal struggle is my outward dependence upon people and things. The key that unlocks the door to spiritual, emotional, and mental freedom is my lack of dependence on outward things. I want you to write that down and keep that. So now, I tell people to appreciate the pain, for it is the path to spiritual freedom. Well, Malik, why would you tell me to appreciate pain? Who's supposed to appreciate pain? Well, people that exercise appreciate pain. People that give childbirth. Any of my sisters out there I got multiple cameras in here. I'm sorry, we're also recording for YouTube. Any of my sisters out there had children, had more than one child? Why did you have children again? Why? Because you appreciate the pain of labor, of childbirth, of carrying a child for 7, 8, 9 months or whatever it was. Why? Because on the other side of that is a lifetime of pleasure. Huh? Follow me? Why do people who exercise, why do they exercise if it's going to be painful? Why? Because on the outside of that, on the other side of that is a reward. So why can't we apply those same things, that same concept, when it comes to emotional, mental, and spiritual pain? When we're going through life's ups and downs and life's turbulences, why can't we apply that same concept? Because what happens is we've begun to set up life as this feel-good life. That everything that we're always supposed to feel good. Where did that come from? Where did that concept come from? Who started that? Who started that whole thing of, I'm supposed to always feel good? Where did that come from? That tragedy's not supposed to happen. That tough times aren't supposed to happen. I want to know. Because it doesn't work like that, people. Let's embrace the pain. Because in embracing pain when we go through things in life, is actually the first step of surrender. Surrender into the reality of what something is. Let's surrender to the reality. Hold on with me. I got to reset the camera. Hold with me. I'm taking one break. We're back. I'm sorry. We're recording for YouTube. Sorry, we're back. So appreciating the pain. The pain is there as an opportunity for me to continue to grow. That's what the pain is there for. So I would say to anybody, in closing, we're about to leave Facebook and we're going to continue on YouTube, and we're going to continue on the podcast for the people who are listening. Don't run from your issues and secrets. Embrace your frailties, for that unlocks the door to all power. Embrace your frailties, for that unlocks the door to all power. We have a whole society. We have a whole lot of people that are running. They're just running. They're running from the sake of running. And that's why we have all of this conflict going on among each other. That's why we got internal conflicts in families. That's why we got people who can't stay together for long periods in relationships. That's why we got a lack of loved ones being around each other. Why? Because that ingredient of surrender that's needed, that ingredient of surrender that's needed for me to look inward and become the person that I need to become isn't there. It's not there. So when I say don't run from your issues and secrets and embrace your frailties that unlocks the door to power, it's important for me to embrace where I fall short. Because if I can see where I fall short as a man, or if you can, or as a woman, the brothers and sisters, we can see where we fall short individually. That is the first step to me saying that, hey, I need help. I need help in this area. I can't do it. Because I could be going around and actually think I'm operating correctly and not operating correctly. I'm destroying people along my path. I'm saying the wrong thing to somebody. I'm doing the wrong thing here. I'm over at this job. I did this to this person. I said that to that person that was harmful. And then I think I'm justified because I talked about the mental illusions that causes me to justify nonsense and causes me to justify my actions and the way that I feel, because the way that I feel is based on my outward circumstances. Because I think everything outside of me needs to be a certain way so that I can be okay with me. And then when people don't go along with my plan, I get upset with them. Why? Because I think I know what's best for other people. I don't know what's best for anybody. I'm a parent. I got 4 children. I would hope I know what's best for my children, but guess what? God just kind of gave me my children for me to lead them and guide them in the direction that they need to know, but I don't know what's best for them. He got a plan for them. And I get upset because when things go contrary to the plan that I have, what happens? Fear creeps in. It's all fear. It's all a boogie monster. It's not real. And none of the things and none of the scenarios that I think are going to happen or are going to play out a certain way, they never play out that way. It never happens. I want you to think about people that are watching and have watched and will watch this. I want you to think about something. Think about all the things you were fearful of that would happen the next day. Did they ever happen the way you thought they would happen? No, seriously. Just think back to some things that you were afraid of. You know, you were afraid how this interview was going to go. You were afraid when you were going to meet this person. You had to have a conversation with somebody about something that happened, and you were playing the scenarios in your mind. Come on, I've done it. I've done it. And never once, I can't remember one time that something that I was afraid of that I had to meet in the future was ever as bad in that moment than I thought of it in my mind. I can never remember a time. That should be an indicator that I need to stay in present moment awareness, that I need to live in the present moment. Right? Now, have I gone through tough times? Yes, I've gone through tough times. Yes, I've had people die. I've had people in my family get tragically killed. Yes, I was with my mother when the doctor told her that she had cancer in her lungs and it wasn't looking good. Yeah, I've been through present moment experiences, but those experiences weren't pre-planned. It wasn't something that I was worried about was going to happen the next day. So my real enemy, follow me. My real enemy is my mental illusions. They're my mental illusions about my relationships with people and about opportunities that I think will bring about my inward security. And it's usually outward financial. It's something that I think I need to attain so that I can be okay with Malik. And when those things get threatened, I get upset. Somebody comes too close to my car, bam, I get upset. See? Why am I upset? Because I don't want the car to be damaged. Why I don't want the car to be damaged? Because then I'm gonna have to pay money for the car. Why I don't want to pay money for the car? Because I have this amount in the bank and I'm thinking about my money. See? So that whole thing goes off. Follow me. Come on, y'all know what I'm talking about. This is late night church. This is late night church with Deep Malik. You know what I'm talking about. Huh? Or our kids do something that we don't want them to do. They make a decision that we don't think is good for them. So what happens? Fear comes in. I don't want this for my child. I don't want my child to be like how I was. I don't want this to happen to them and they to wind up on welfare or living in the projects or this, and that, and this. I want them to have better than me. And they don't look like they're making decisions that they're going to wind up better than me. So I start getting fearful. So then what happens, I start yelling at them. Now we start combating. Now I'm making the problem worse. Yes, Katrina. Right? So now I'm spreading the fear because the fear is a disease. And let me tell you something. Fear is worse than cancer. Everybody worried about catching HIV, worried about catching herpes, worried about catching a disease. Be worried about catching fear. Listen, I want y'all to go. Please go to convoswithmalik.com. Please go on my website. Please listen to my series on Apple iTunes. Please. I have a talk on there. I have a couple of talks. One is What Do You Believe, part 1 and 2. And then the recent one I did is Fear or Faith. And I'm doing another one later this week called Why Am I Afraid? And we're going to get deep into the different levels of fear, because there's levels and stages of fear that we need to talk about. Because a lot of us are out here operating in it. And that's what's causing all of the discontent. And that's the root of the failures. It is. And I'm talking from my personal experience. I'm not preaching. I'm talking through identification. Yeah. I know it's Sunday night. I know people watching their shows. I just came on Facebook Live. I haven't been on in a while, and I wanted to tell people where to find me. But I got it all on the website. I got the interviews coming up. I got books here of people who are going to be coming on the show. This is the show. Conversations with Malik is the place to be. This is the place for the source of spirituality on a real deep level, because we're going to talk real on this show. And we're going to talk about what makes the mind work and what makes the mind tick. And I got a few more minutes. But I'm going to end it and wrap up this fear. And I want you to listen. Go on convoswithmalik.com, convoswithmalik.com, and listen to Faith or Fear, and listen to What Do You Believe, part 1 and 2. Trust me. So now, as I close this out, so fear, I'm afraid of something because I'm afraid I'm either going to lose something that I have. Something that I have is threatened, or something that I want to attain, I'm not going to get. And when I say something, it could be a person, it could be an object, right? And when I'm fearful, I'm not trusting God. And if you're not a big God person, I would just say you're not trusting the spirit of your previous experiences. Because guess what? If you're listening to me right now, that means you've lived through all of your past horrible experiences. You lived through them. So if you lived through them, using them as a reference and using them as a source and talking about what you've been through, it probably won't kill you. But when I'm operating in fear, where's my faith? Now, I talked about embracing the pain, embracing the fear of change. Fear can be there, and I can use that as a tool to push me forward. But when I'm using it as a tool to hurt others, because hurt people, I'm using fear incorrectly, because fear is actually a natural God-given mechanism. I come out of my door and I see a loose pit bull, I better get the spirit of fear so that I can run back in the house, right? Okay. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when I get fearful because I don't accept my current reality as being the way it's supposed to be. When I'm not accepting reality, I'm acting in fear. When I lash out at other people or when I run from an experience, that's like using drugs. That's like drinking it away. That's being a scaredy cat. I'm just running. That's no different than the heroin addict shooting up. that disappeared, that nobody's seen them in 5 or 10 years. Some of us have been missing emotionally, spiritually, and mentally from people's lives for years, and we live in the house with them. I'm sorry. I know it hurts, but it's real. Some of us living in the house with people that we haven't been emotionally connected to. Why? Because of fear. Why? Because that person isn't doing something the way we think they should be doing it. And we think they're going to suffer a type of consequences. So as a result of that, we withdraw. But guess what? Let me ask you something. And I'm going to end you with this question. Nice, Katrina. Nice. I like that. Let me ask you this question. My name is Malik, right? And I guess I've made all the bad decisions that somebody could possibly make. And God's grace and mercy was sufficient. And I'm still here. And actually, all of my experiences, all of the bad decisions that I made actually taught me things that I was blessed to learn the lessons, to be here to do a show like this, Conversations with Malik, where we're helping so many people. I turned out okay, didn't I? I did pretty good for myself, brothers and sisters. I own businesses. I employ our people. I've been in business for 23 years by the grace of God. But if you would have known me in my teens, you wouldn't have thought I was going to live out of my teenage years. So what I want to say to you is the same God that protected you is the same God that's going to protect the people in your life. He's going to protect them too. And so if I can just take a step back, live in present moment awareness through prayer and meditation, through getting still, breathing in and out, breathe in, let God, breathe out, let go. Take time to take care of myself so that I can be healthy. I can let other people go through their process. And as they go through their process, I can sit back and watch, and I can pray for them. And I can lend a helping hand where I can, right? And not worry about all of the things in my life being set up a certain way so that I could be happy, because I can find peace in the storm. I do have perfect peace. I do have happiness. I am serene. God has blessed me with peace and understanding, and I walk with it and I live it. And I feel obligated to share it with other people. And that's what we're doing on this show. So in closing, if by me doing this show, I can say something to help make someone else a better person, that better person is now can make their family a better family. That family can thereby make that community a better community. That community can make the state that they're in a better state. That state can make the country a better country. That country can make the world a better world. So this is my contribution. Conversations with Malik, this show, convoswithmalik.com. Catch us on Apple, iTunes. This is my contribution of the blessings that I've been given from God and the spirit of my ancestors, their struggle and sacrifice. I'm here doing this so I can play my part to make the world a better world. Thanks for checking in. Yo, have a good week. Check us out on the website. Peace and blessings.